go big, little legs. Skinny kid with plenty.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's ZTAY, aka Lil Red. We got how good is Austin Reaves actually? And I've never watched one of this guy's videos, Alex Hoops, so we're gonna be seeing how this goes. But before we get started, hit that like button to help out the channel, and if you guys enjoy, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into the video.
How good is Austin Reaves actually? Last year we saw Austin Reaves have a little bit of a breakout second season, and then now he's been showing out in the FIBA exhibition games. And this has spawned a lot of discussion about how good he actually is, how good he can be, if he's overrated. Depending on who you ask, you're gonna hear a bunch of different opinions. If you talk to some Lakers fans, they're probably gonna tell you that he's a future all-star, and then some other people will probably tell you that he's a little bit overrated. But what's the actual truth? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in today's video, so let's jump right into it. The big question for the Lakers heading into this offseason was, what's going to happen with Austin Reaves? Are the Lakers going to be able to re-sign him? And if so, are they going to have to match a max contract offer from another team? Or are they going to be able to get him on a little bit of a bargain?
It's crazy. Today I saw rumors that the Spurs were going to offer Austin Reaves a 4-year, $100 million contract. I don't know why they didn't do it. But that's crazy. I don't know if he would have been a Laker if that happened.
Yeah. There were rumblings that the Spurs were potentially thinking about offering him a max contract, but before anything could come of that, the Lakers gave him everything that they could, with Reaves signing a deal worth $56 million over the next 4 years. And considering some of the contracts that we've seen,
that's a good contract for us, so far,
bro. That is an absolute steal. He's getting paid $14 million over the course of the next 4 years. Given the fact that Dillon Brooks is getting $20 million a year for the foreseeable future, I'd say this is a pretty good deal for the Lakers, especially considering... I
know there's a lot of hate on Dillon Brooks, and I'm a Lakers fan, so, you know, it was annoying what he was doing versus us. But he's not a bad player. I think the lights got a little bit too bright for him, going up against LeBron like that in LA, talking like that. Like, if he wasn't talking about LeBron... Like, before that, he was playing good, bro. Like, he's a good defender. He's a streaky shooter. So, I'm not saying he's undeserving of that money, but I think it's not too crazy to say that he got that much.
The fact that the Lakers don't have a ton of wiggle room right now in terms of their cap situation, being able to bring him back on such a team-friendly deal is going to be huge for them. Now, one of the big problems when trying to assess how good Austin Reaves is and how much better he potentially can be going forward in his career is the fact that he turned 25 at the end of May, and he's heading into his 3rd season. His developmental curve is a little bit different at this point than a guy who's 22 heading into his 3rd year. But given how much improvement he showed from year 1 to year 2, there's reason to believe that just because he's 25 years old doesn't mean that he can't keep getting better.
Bro, the fact that people think 25 is old? First off, it's his 3rd year. I'm 25 years old. When I play basketball, I feel fine stamina-wise. I mean, you could argue, oh, he only got a couple years, but by the end of his contract, how old is he gonna be? 29? I don't know.
He was scoring more, assisting more, and getting to the line more on a per 75 possession basis last year compared to his rookie season.
Damn.
And he was a ridiculously efficient scorer with a true shooting percentage of 68.7%. This level of improvement over the course of 2 seasons is incredibly impressive.
Yeah, he jumped a lot from his
age.
first season.
And things get even better when you take a look at what he was doing after the All-Star.
His first season, he was nice, though.
17.6 points and 5.5 assists on 57.8% shooting from the field and 44.3% shooting from beyond the arc.
And keep this in mind, this is a team with other scores. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell sharing the ball, and he's still 18 points a game with 5.5 assists, shooting 60% basically on 44% from 3. Like, second half of the season, he went crazy.
16-7 over that 23-game span. A big chunk of this time, LeBron was dealing with that foot injury, so Reaves was having to take on a larger share.
Earlier on in the season, Reaves got hurt too,
up to it.
And we were struggling without him.
The game between him and AD was especially effective. He flashed a little bit of ability to manipulate the defense with his scoring, with White showing here at the elbow with Jaylen Brown guarding him. And
he has great body control, bro.
Jumper, which is going to get Brown off of his feet, and then Reaves is going to pivot to draw Cornet's attention before he dumps it off to AD, who slams it home. On this side,
Look at LeBron's reaction, bro. Look at LeBron's reaction.
Slams it home. On this side pick and roll with AD, he's going to use the screen to drive towards the baseline, which forces Looney out to the wing to cover him. He's going to abuse this mismatch and get an angle towards the basket.
He's so good in the pick and roll, bro.
Kuminga and Clay to come over and provide help, and it leaves AD wide open for him to dump it off for the finish. Now, an important thing to note about Austin Reaves' game is the fact that he's a very good mid-range shooter.
Yeah,
he shot 52% on shots in floater range and 48% on long mid-range jumpers, and he did this on pretty significant volume. So drop defenders in the pick and roll definitely
I feel like he shot more than 161.
Those in-between shots. So when AD and him are running the pick and
roll,
roll,
loves that mid-range.
Notice that Aldama has to stay angled partially towards Reaves instead of just focusing on AD on the roll. Reaves is going to capitalize on this attention, and he finds AD for the finish with pretty much zero contest. Same situation here. Hartenstein overplays Reaves on the drive, making it to where he has to make a pretty different.
Austin Reaves can make any type of read in the pick and roll. And this shocked me because I remember watching him in the summer league his first year, and he was making lots of mistakes. They were hyping him up, and I was just like, man, I hope he's good. But man, bro, he improved so much in his ability to read a defense, especially in the pick and roll.
Any chance at contesting
and even
AD.
watching him in the FIBA tournament right now,
for 2 points. Being able to force defense,
he's able to read things outside of the pick and roll. Like he's starting to control offenses without the ball, on ball
duties, and function more as an offensive
telling you, bro, he's starting to look like
ability to score
a point guard
against good defenders is one of those things that seems like it should be more of an issue.
Not even a point guard. He just looks like a smart player,
he's
bro.
in isolation against Aaron Gordon, who is a notably very
loves that
good
crossover
defender.
Behind the back. Okay, the little hezzy blow by.
Using this really nice behind the back move to get Gordon off balance.
That's what he did versus Curry.
Near his shooting pocket so that he can get right into the fadeaway jumper, and it's completely out of reach.
That's tough.
When he's probing the defense, he's very patient, recognizing that he's got to wait for AD to get down further on his roll, hesitating and faking the shot at the nail before continuing his drive on Kennard. He uses his shoulder to bump Kennard off of his spot to where he's preventing Jaren from contesting him, so he's able to just pop up for the shot without any issue. He uses this screen here from AD to get Tyus Jones caught up behind him, and this is going to put Jaren Jackson in a difficult position trying to guard the pick and roll basically on his own. Reaves is going to switch to his left hand.
How he's snaking in and out of that thing, bro.
At the ball. So Reaves uses this in and out dribble to prevent the steal, using a low short dribble to transfer hands. Jaren is going to overextend himself.
That's a beautiful snake, bro.
It allows Reaves to get by him to the basket, and he's going to get the shot off
and the
before
scoop
the defense
layup
can get there, and he ultimately gets the goaltending call. He has no problem scoring in the pick and roll, and among players spending at least 25%.
Okay, pick and roll ball handler points. We got Austin Reaves. Oh, Donovan Mitchell, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard is really good in the pick and roll. Luka is really good in the pick and roll. DeMar DeRozan? Okay, I guess I gotta watch some more DeMar DeRozan. Monte Morris up here. Norman Powell. Yeah, he's good in the pick and roll. So we got points per possession, and so he's the highest shooting in the pick and roll percentage-wise.
Of their offensive possessions.
Damn, Curry's
ball handler. He scores
most
at
points?
some of the best
looked like it in
of any of the top guys
playoffs versus us, bro.
Now keep in mind, he's playing far fewer minutes than most of these guys here. That scoring efficiency as the pick and roll ball handler will likely come down a little bit if he were to get more volume next year and in the years coming. But even if his efficiency comes down from where it's at right now, it's probably not going to come down to a level where
he's an efficient shooter, bro.
As the pick and roll ball handler. It'll probably just be a more realistic number. Another really important thing to talk about with Austin Reaves is how ridiculously good he is at getting to the line, especially considering he's not super athletic.
He said he studied from James Harden.
Of contact. He got to the line on 20.7% of his shot attempts, and that puts him in the 100th percentile of wings in the NBA in terms of getting to the line. Given his athletic limitations, this is something that he's going to be able to make use of, not only to just generate points at the line, but also force defenses to back off a bit and allow him more room to breathe so he can create for himself and others. I came across a really interesting stat when I was prepping for this video. It involves the estimated plus-minus stat from dunksandthrees.com. I'm sure some of you guys have heard of it. It's one of the few
this stuff just gives me headaches, bro. I don't even care about stats like that, to be honest.
Actually does a good job of gauging how much value a player provides. If you look at Reaves' 30-game moving average throughout all of his career games so far, you can see that around game 90,
His what? 30-game moving average? What does that even mean?
he started to skyrocket in estimated plus minus, going from just under an EPM of negative 0.6
over the span of 30 games is plus minus
1.8.
At one point, he would literally lead us every single night in plus
0.9.
minus.
It's really, really promising that he finished the season among
estimated
the best
plus minus.
guys of
That's
his
not a good
class
stat
in regards to EPM. Now, again,
when I say not a good stat, bro, like, you can't estimate a plus minus. You don't know what's gonna happen in the game unless it's just an average of plus minus. But even then, like, I think an average of a plus minus doesn't really tell the full. This is why I don't really like stat watching, because an average plus minus, like, one night guys might get blown out by 30, and then the next night you guys only win by 5, and then his plus minus is a negative.
The season among the best guys of his class in regards
when
to EPM.
he might be in with a bad lineup.
Advanced stats are subject to scrutiny. I know some people love them, some people hate them.
I don't like advanced
I'm somewhere in the middle, but I do think that this one does a pretty decent job of showing a
He is good at his plus minus.
If you want to check out EPM, I'll leave a link to dunksandthrees.com in the description. Not sponsored, but I do like their site. Now, defensively, Reaves isn't a traffic cone, but I wouldn't say he's elite. One of the most important things to note when we're talking about this side of the ball for him is that he's at the very least giving good effort on the defensive end.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's ever going to be a
like a
lockdown perimeter defender, but he's also not exactly a guy that you can target on defense. I'd consider him closer to neutral defensively.
Damn.
And in the context of the Lakers'
He's good at taking charges, I'll tell you that.
Fine. Now, obviously, we don't know how long it's going to be until LeBron retires, so we don't know how much longer the Lakers have him for.
One more year, bro.
It's safe to assume that the future for the Lakers is probably going to revolve around Anthony Davis and Austin Reaves. Reaves put up some pretty insane numbers when it was just him and AD on the floor post All-Star break. In 907 total possessions when him and AD were on the floor together, he recorded 21 points and 6 assists per 75 possessions while shooting 71.6% on twos and 50% on threes. Those numbers, if they're to be trusted as any indication of what he could do as a lead guard, are a lot closer to like borderline all-star level numbers.
It's crazy because he said at the beginning of the video, like, some Lakers fans will say he's going to be a future all-star. I'm not even thinking that far ahead. And when I try to think that far ahead, it's like, really, damn, he actually could be an all-star. But I don't even want to think like that. I don't know why. I just don't want to think like that, because that's when he starts getting that unnecessary hate. And I guess that's what happens when you become an all-star. But I don't even want to think about that type of stuff. Just focus on... That's another thing. When a player's up and coming, I don't want them to get too much hype, because I don't know. I probably shouldn't care about mainstream media.
The big question is going to be, does his performance and his production scale with higher usage, more shots, more defensive attention? Once defenses start to focus in on him a little bit more, is he going to be able to remain as efficient as he is? Because right now, he's insanely efficient. But if he has to start creating looks for himself against the second best defender on a team instead of the third best defender on the team...
But I don't think you could do that. You can't do that. With the roster that we have, you can't do that, because we have D'Angelo Russell, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Those are taking up the 3 best. Because guess what? You put the best defender on Austin Reaves, then D'Angelo Russell is going to go crazy. So, I don't know. I don't think his numbers are going to drop off at all this year. I don't even think his usage rate is going to go up at all. If we're being honest. Like, I think it's going to be the same as the playoffs was last year. Like, starting where he left off.
I
don't think he's going to drop off that much.
Now,
I don't think it is.
Can't say for sure right now, but it's definitely something to think about and keep an eye out for.
Maybe a tiny bit, because the volume's going to go up.
But of his career. So to answer the question, how good is Austin Reaves? Well, he's pretty dang good. I'd say the best case scenario is that he ends up being in that kind of lower tier fringe all-star caliber level of guard at his peak. In worst case scenario, he already is and will continue to be a very, very good starting caliber guard for a very, very long time. And given where they picked him at, I'd say that's pretty good value.
They didn't pick him.
So
they didn't pick him. He was undrafted. He chose to be undrafted to come to the Lakers, so that's probably why he would have accepted a deal over. No, I'm just...
What are you guys expecting from Reaves this upcoming season? What do you think his ceiling is as a player? Be sure to let me know in the...
You know what I'm expecting from Austin? Shout out, what's his name? Alex Hoops. I'm gonna subscribe and like the video. But this is my prediction. I want him to do exactly the same thing he did last year. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't care about all the headlines. Like, oh man, like there's some Lakers fans that are hyping him up so much, bro. Like, and I understand they're doing it because there's a lot of hate going on with Austin Reaves. Like, it's either two sides right now. You either hate Austin Reaves or you hype him up too much. But that's just all Twitter is, let's be honest. But right now, it's just like in the FIBA tournament, people's always talking about, oh, Brandon Ingram and Austin Reaves because they're former Lakers. But come on, bro. I'm not going to compare him to anything. Austin Reaves needs to do exactly what Austin Reaves did last year in the playoffs. Nothing more than that, and I'll be happy. I don't care if he's ever an all-star. I know that he's a solid, good player. And that's all I care about, man. Let me know how you guys feel about Austin Reaves down below in the comments. Be sure to go like this man's video and hit that like button on my video to help out the channel. And if this is your first time, hit that subscribe button, man. Watch a couple of these videos. This is ZTAY. Peace.